What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Drew Hoover, and today is another segment of prospect rankings, and we're finally going over the interior offensive linemen. Now, that means I'll be going over centers and guards, mostly because there's not a lot of depth at these positions, so a lot of scouts and experts group those positions together. It should be a lot of fun. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please click that subscribe button. And Anthony Garcia is your man. If you have any graphic design or video production needs, go to his website. His link is in the description below, opticventure.com. And now for the first interior offensive lineman on my board, Tyler Linderbaum, center for Iowa at 6'3", 290 pounds. He was first team All Big Ten and first team All-American. Man, he's got that physicality. He's got that tight grip. He won't let you go, and he's got the leverage too. But what impressed me the most is his awareness, his smarts. And he's a guy that can call out blitzes on the line of scrimmage. Now, I know a quarterback does a lot of adjustments pre-snap, but a lot of times the center has to be the one that makes those adjustments when it comes to pass protection or your run blocking assignments. So that is a very good quality to have if you're a center. My NFL comparison to him is Jeff Saturday, the center for the Indianapolis Colts back in the day. Him and Peyton Manning. Like I said, Peyton Manning was all pre-snap, but Jeff Saturday was the one that was keeping everyone in check on the offensive line. People are hesitant about drafting a center high because of history with guys like, Garrett Bradbury, who's had, hiccups in his development. You also look at even when the good ones are only drafted until later on. But hopefully people can see someone like Tyler Linderbaum. And like I said, this is a draft where people need a lot of offensive line help that maybe goes higher than people expect. And now for the second interior offensive lineman on my board, Kenyon Green, offensive guard for Texas A&M. At 6'4", 325 pounds. Man, he was first team All-SEC and first team All-American. When I look at him, he's got the quick feet. He's able to stick with his blocks. But he's also got probably the best anchor of any of these interior offensive linemen. And a lot has to do with the fact that he's been all over the place. He can play tackle, he can play guard, and he can do it on the left and right side. He can do it all. And that's why my NFL comparison to him is actually a guy that went in last year's NFL draft, Landon Dickerson. He came out of Alabama, mostly played interior, but apparently he could play any position on the offensive line, and I think that's going to make him very coveted. Some people have him going into the top 15, maybe even sneaking into the top 10. I wouldn't be surprised, man. Like I said, with that many offensive line help, and there's not a lot of it to offer in free agency, these offensive line will go way high, and I think Kenyon Green is going to be very coveted. And now for the third interior offensive lineman on my board, Zion Johnson, offensive guard from Boston College. At 6'3", 360 pounds, he was first team All-ACC and first team All-American. Another guy that could play tackle and guard. He's got your ideal size and agility. I love his technique. He's an all-out technician. He's got the instincts. There's a lot of guys that can run block in this draft, and I think Zion Johnson is one of those guys that if you put him in right away, he can definitely open up those holes in the running game. Now for the fourth interior offensive lineman on my board, Darian Canard, offensive guard from Kentucky. At 6'5", 345 pounds, he was first team All-SEC and first team All-American. He's agile, he's quick off the snap, but I have a few concerns. One, his use of hands. I think he needs to hold his punches more, and also people said that he might have had a strong anchor and base leading up to the Senior Bowl, but there were times when I'm watching the Senior Bowl and he was leaning into his blocks, or he was getting overwhelmed and getting pushed back, like the block he had against Jermaine Johnson II. Now, a lot of people were overwhelmed with Jermaine Johnson II that day, but still, I mean, my NFL comparison to him in the end ends up being Alex Leatherwood. Last year, we were all shocked by the Raiders' selection. On tape, he didn't really look all that good, but similar to Darian Kinnard, he was first team SEC and first team All-American. And now for my final, the fifth interior offensive lineman on the board, Dylan Parham, offensive guard from Memphis. At 6'3", 285 pounds, he was first team All AAC. He's got the ability to get underneath your shoulder pads and get a grip on its defender. He's got that core strength to get you back. But what I've been hearing a lot from scouts is they're impressed with his work ethic and character. And it's not that I don't hear a lot about it in this draft when it comes to coaches and scouts. Yes, you want a player that, is obviously good at his position and it's a scheme fit, but they're also looking for team players that get along with coaches and players. I mean, you look at guys like Antonio Brown, that don't really get along with players as well. Some people are even saying about Aaron Rodgers now. But I guess, depending on who you are, I guess Dylan Parham is one of those guys that work ethic and character are his bright spots and are, reasons that teams are talking to themselves into drafting Dylan Parham coming draft weekend. And those have been my top 5 interior offensive linemen. We're going to go over the running backs soon, and then we're going to be done with the offensive side and then go over the defensive side. Probably by the time I'm done with the offensive side, they'll be done with the scouting combine, and I get to evaluate all the stats and stuff, and it'll definitely maybe shape up how some of my positions are when it comes to especially defensive line and linebackers. But anyway, I'm your host, Drew Hoover, and have a good day, everybody.